Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just coming back and I want to touch on a couple of items. I first want to touch on the situation with the judges being confirmed to the Supreme Court, Judge Udindi or whatever her name is. You know, this is a great problem within the black experience, ladies and gentlemen. We put ourselves into a situation where they can go out and select the worst people they can find to fill these positions to just make it look like black people are totally ignorant. Now, you have Kamala Harris. She is our vice president at this time. She is totally unqualified for that job. She's an idiot. And you know the truth about it, I think she may be on crack from the way she's been so secretive and so hidden away all the time. But that's one of the things, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I think that these people that are being supported and being applied to these jobs that are in the black experience are people who have been chosen as the worst that they can find for the position. So that makes me look bad in a way when you have two women on the stage like that are an embarrassment to their people and are going to do nothing to help their people and the knock in the head. And I think this should have been a death knell to any pastor out there that's trying to profess his faith, to any pastor out there that's trying to be true to the word of God and true to his creed. When she said that she could not define what a woman is, then that's bad news, buddy. I mean, even the women, she is beating you down. She is saying that any man can be a woman. That's not true, ladies and gentlemen, biologically or otherwise. We both know that only women can produce a child. They can get help from the man, but they're the only ones that can actually do that job. And I think that's degrading all women when she said that to a low level. But you see, all of the people are still agreeing with her, going along with her, especially the white liberals, because they don't want to be called racist. That's the only thing that's going on with that dynamic, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, on a local level here, I'm just reapproaching the Urban League and Tony Mason and the people he has helping him now to get some kind of situation where they can appropriate over $100 million in funding from the Lilly Foundation. Now they're squandering this money. They already spent $5 million on puff and setup. Now you know that's wrong, ladies and gentlemen. That's over a quarter of the money that they're going to waste away on something that's never going to appear in moving our community forward. It's not going to be any foundational work or anything else except for them taking the money and spending it on cars and clothes and probably food. So I just think we need to check them. That in my last video, I told you I want you to call the Lilly Endowment. Their number is 317-924-5471. To call them, ladies and gentlemen, tell them you're not too happy with the way Tony Mason and Marshawn are spending this money that they've been trusted with. And again, I will say that Marshawn and the Black Onyx Group and also the African American Agenda or whatever are not speaking for me. And they're not speaking for black people in the community in a whole when they come to the radio programs, when they come to the legislature and say they are speaking for the black community. Ladies and gentlemen, they're not speaking for me because they're ignorant. And I'll say they're ignorant. They may hold professorships. They may be somewhere where the white man have patted them on the head and allowed them to be a token. But they don't represent me, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm for sure that if you took a poll, they wouldn't be representing that many people in our experience. So that's what happens, and that's the problem. That's a real problem. We need to denounce Marshawn Wally. We need to denounce his so-called data gathering groups and tell them we don't want them on our behalf anymore. They're making unauthorized appearances causing serious damage to our communities, ladies and gentlemen, and it can't be sustained. But anyway, back to the black community. When you see a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where our pastors are not condemning this one gal that's going for the Supreme Court, She appears to be illiterate because she is not speaking. She's not focusing what a legal mind would be. I mean, how can you set up in a hearing of that importance and tell someone that you can't describe describe what a woman is and give a definition? She could have looked in Webster's and found exactly what that definition was. But did she do that because she's carrying an agenda with her, as is most of the people, and as some people in the black experience are carrying this agenda forward with them on their shoulders at the expense of other black people. And another thing, you notice when you heard someone talking about racism, these black people that have already made it, they're setting up in their positions, they have plenty of money, yet they talk about how bad racism is, how it's doing people bad. Well, how did they make it, ladies and gentlemen? They were given the chance to make it on their own, but they want to come back after they make it and just make everything, put up bars for the actual other people like myself who are trying to make it now. They want to pour scalding water in my face so I can't get up the ladder. So I just wish they would stop acting like they're speaking for us. Al Sharpton, Nate Lee and all his gang coming on encouraging people to run from the police. I mean, what good is Daquan McDonald getting a lawsuit settled going to do you? It's not going to do you any good, folks. Like I said before, there's over 132,000 jobs that are coming up with all this Rebuild Indiana money here in the state of Indiana. All this money is out there, and we won't even train a workforce to do that work. All the Urban League can do is talk about, we want to get 2- and 3-year-old kids in for emotional training so that they'll be helped in 3rd grade. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has something to do with Freud. That has something to do with sexualizing 2- and 3-year-old kids. And Tony Mason, you know you're doing it. And you and Mark Mariel too. So I just like to say, we need to check these people, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you come on, you talk about Tina Cosby. Oh, you need to hold our officials accountable. Hold them accountable. And then all they talk about is racism. I'm sick and tired of racism. I mean, it exists. There's nothing they can do about it. But they've already overcome racism, ladies and gentlemen. And all they're doing is putting a block in the way so that you can't overcome it on your own. But that's just a few topics that I've talked about. I talked about them, and I'll come back later on. But I did want to get on the justices trying to be the justice in the Supreme Court, and also Tony Mason and his deceptive lies. Now, I'm emailing him these 2 videos, so he'll have them. And I know I want him to tell me how much money he spent. I mean, the black community needs to come together and go down to his building there on Indiana Avenue with our signs, with our placards, nothing violent, but go down there and ask him how much money he has already spent. Now, we need to catch him right now before he gets away, and then we're sitting around with a wet ass and can't do nothing about it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of this video. It's coming right up, and I'll see you the next time I do appear. I don't know when that will be, but I just got a lot of different things going on now, and I will show you my studio. I've got that one painting I was working on that's came to an end now. Larry Vaughn here at the Bougie Bulletin. Give me a subscribe next time you see me.